I know I've been banging on about this for the last couple of weeks, but this really is your last opportunity now, as long as you're watching this the day it comes out. If you haven't yet ordered a home shirt, they go off sale tonight, Sunday the 2nd of June at midnight, and there's every chance they'll never go on sale again. It really depends how many sold this time, whether they'll let us do another run. So if you've been on the fence about getting one, now could well be your final chance. They're £30 each. You've got the home shirt, the away shirt, the third choice shirt. They're all awesome. 10% of the profit from each one goes to the National Autistic Society as well. And my one piece of advice would be to order slightly larger than you'd normally wear, especially if you're a fuller figured person, and because they do come up a little snug. But you've got to order today if you want one. Hello and welcome to part 125 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a Huddersfield double-header. One of them in the league, one of them in the quarter-final of the League Cup. We've got a sneaky little cup run that's sort of appeared from nowhere. And we kind of need it, because since you're last with me, league form has gone out the window. I know 2 of those games were against Arsenal and Liverpool, so we can kind of discount them. We did beat Everton convincingly, but I'm disappointed with that defeat against Millwall. Also the defeat against West Ham. I think we can just I'm going to take Liverpool and Arsenal out of the equation and say we're still doing fine. And actually, for a team that's predicted relegation, we are doing fine. 16 games gone. We're in 11th place, 19 points on the board. So we're doing fine. We're ahead of the Kev ratio. That's the important thing. But Huddersfield are another of those teams that we really do need to be getting something out of. I know it's an away game, so a draw would be fine. But it would be nice to pick up a win to compensate us for what happened against Millwall. This is the team I'm going to be putting out there to try and do exactly that. We've got Horvat in goal, a back four of Sands, Noble, Van der Horst and Riviere, with Harrison sat in front of them. Samuel and Bishop are our central midfield, with Manu in behind Adrio and Kano up front. Riviere's not fully fit. Fitness test. Have we got Gregson on the bench? We have. That's fine then. We'll probably rest him for the cup version of this. I mean, I don't know. I don't really want to rest too much for the cup. I've not been resting. I normally rotate quite heavily for things like the League Cup, because who cares? It's only the League Cup. But for a club like Home, it's an opportunity to get to Wembley. It's an opportunity to win a first major piece of silverware in our history. So I'm not going to turn my nose about it. It's a route into Europe as well, of course. I expect nothing but a win. I do expect nothing but a win, actually, because I think we have been pretty poor recently. We need to go out there, get a win, get ourselves back in form, back with some confidence, going into the... It's almost like a return leg, because it's a home match, and it's the cup game then. So I want to use this league game to get us in form for the cup game against them that's back at our place, or Milton Keynes' place, as we try and get into the League Cup semi-final, which I think is over 2 legs. And even if we make it past Huddersfield in this round, 2 legs against a team that's statistically likely to be better than us, the run probably ends there. But a major domestic semi-final would be, I mean, that's also a great achievement. It's a step in the right direction. It's something we've never got anywhere near before. I think this is already our deepest cup run in the club's history. But we probably need to worry about that during the cup match. And for now, we should be thinking about the league. And Horvat's just made a fantastic save, but it counts for nothing when we don't get the ball clear. It's gone down as an own goal from Van der Horst. We'll have a look at it from the other angle. Horvat does brilliantly here. That is a fantastic save, but our defenders owe him better than that, because for the ball to then be played across the 6-yard box, across the floor, and not one of those 5 defenders who were around him putting their boot through it and just clearing it, it's just so disappointing. Especially when the guy who... They shot wide and it's kind of deflected off the ankle as one of those defenders who wasn't getting on the end of it to begin with. I've asked for 10 minutes of passion. It's made no difference. I talked about this last season and we kind of got away without it ever happening. But I am worried that because we went into 2 big games against Arsenal and Liverpool off the back of a disappointing defeat, and then we got properly thumped by Arsenal and Liverpool, I do wonder, even though they're games we should have lost, it's knocked the stuffing out of us a little bit. And that's now affecting us in this game. I've gone back to my calm underdog team talk. I tried to be assertive before the match. It's not worked. So let's change tact entirely and say, look, if you're going to lose, you're going to lose. Huddersfield are a better team than us. They're a more established Premier League team than us. oh well, doesn't really matter, but it'd be nice if you won. And that hasn't worked either. We've just hit bad form. We had this like 2 or 3 seasons ago down in the Championship, but Bishop's injured as well, which is a major problem. He's doing the lying down, banging his hand on the floor. Can we see what happened here? Where does he go down? From that tackle, but he's back up again, and then he's down. So he's done himself slide tackling somebody else. Potential lower leg injury. I think we probably need to take him off. He's such an important player for us. I don't want to risk him. So we'll just bring Torres on for him straight away. Tell Manu to take up playmaker responsibilities. 2-0 down is not okay. Let's get creative. There you go. They've been inspired by the instruction to offer some creativity. But if we take another thumping today, especially against a team like Huddersfield, how do we pick ourselves up from that? This is the issue sometimes you get, where you get a couple of bad results and it snowballs into bad form, and bad form makes heads drop, and bad form with low morale is just about the hardest thing to turn around in Football Manager. Let's get Matondo on. Matondo can play along with Kano. Since we signed Adrio permanently, not quite as impressed with him. Glad we're only paying $750,000 for him. He's still, I think, the Premier League's top scorer, so I'm probably being a little bit harsh, but most of those goals are before he signed permanently. I think I've been hoodwinked into giving him a permanent deal. Right, we're going to bring Steer on as well. We'll go Steer and Matondo for the last 10 minutes. Not that it's going to make any difference, because we're not going to get back into this game. I'll demand more. I've been up and down all over the place during this game, but I'm now back to, come on lads, let's win the football match. But no, we're down to 14th place. We're still 9 points clear of the relegation zone. I think it's helpful that there are 3 really, really poor teams in the Premier League this year. Arguably 4 if you include Preston as well. But if we carry on in the form that we're in, it doesn't matter how poor they are, they're going to pick up points when we're not. This is where we turn the form around. We need a confidence-boosting League Cup quarter-final win against the team. Oh, here we go. We've got the unwilling to experiment message. The game's decided to stop letting me win with a diamond. We're going to have to do a formation change in this cup game and trick the game. Rubbish. So, Huddersfield again, this time in the League Cup, and we are doing some experimenting. Obviously, it's pretty tricky to experiment too much. We don't really have any wingers. So, I'm playing Harris and Kano out wide. Matondo could have gone out there as well. Traore, wherever he is. Someone find me Traore. He would have been... I thought he could play out there. I had it in my head that he could play wide, but apparently he can't. Interesting. So we're going with these ones. I don't think this is a better system than the one we just used in the league, but I do know that sometimes Football Manager just gets it in its head that you've got to change your system up, and sometimes you just have to change it for 2 or 3 games, and then you can change it back again, and all of a sudden your system starts working again. It's a little bit of a playing the system, but sometimes you've got to do it. And we've got some teams interested in some of our players, some Spanish teams after some of our... Poor old Eric Fernandez. He's wanted by St Mirren, while Manu's wanted by Valencia. It's a different calibre of player there, I think. So we're going with Horvat in goal, a back four of Brown, Noble, Sands and Gregson, Torres and Samuel in midfield, Sir Anthony Harris, Manu and Kano all supporting Adrio, who's going to be up front on his own. We've got Ollie Steer and Matondo both on the bench to come on if need be. But we're sticking with the Gagan pressing system. I did think about doing like a 4-3-3 direct counter-attacking thing, similar to what we used with Forest Green in non-league to legend, or the fluid counter-attacking 4-3-3 we used with Fulham in non-league to legend. The only issue is arguably our best player, or one of our best players, is Manu, who can only play as an attacking midfielder. I don't want to switch to a new system that means we can't fit Manu into it. Here he is now, showing why he's so important. Counter-attack coming through Manu, who's got options ahead of him. Crosses to Adrio. Adrio nods it across. It falls to Torres. Torres shoots and it cannons back off the crossbar. Harris can't convert either and Harris loses out. But yeah, I'm kind of stuck having to play systems that have an attacking midfielder in. Oh, Samuel's just scored from the corner. That's an excellent header from Marvin Samuel. And all of a sudden, Home 1, Huddersfield 0. The tactical changes worked. Kev's a genius. Excellent stuff. Obviously, this system does mean that Harrison can't get in because Harrison can only play as a defensive midfielder. But I think Manu is a much more important player and a much more valuable asset to us than Harrison is. You've already seen Manu's wanted by Valencia. So Manu's a player who could potentially either lead us up into Europa League level football, or we could sell for a massive profit further down the line, or even in January if he decides to force through a move back to Spain. But we paid £13.5 million for him. I'd be expecting a significant improvement on that, a massive record sale to let him leave, and we're not going to get that if we take him out of the team to fit a new system. So we're kind of stuck with a 4-2-3-1, a diamond, or like a 4-3-1-2, which we've obviously used plenty of times in the past. The 4-3-1-2 I don't think is different enough from the diamond to convince the game that we're trying something new. What a goal from Sir Anthony Harris, and he does a cartwheel. My word, I think this might be the first game he started all season, playing out on the left wing as an inside forward. It's a position we've speculated with for Sir Anthony Harris for about 15 years because he is so good drifting out into those channels. He's always been as much of a creator as he is a goal scorer. Perhaps he should have been playing as an inside forward all these years, but that was a beauty of a goal from Harris, and it's a complete turnaround from where we were in the league. I didn't pay enough attention to the Huddersfield team in the last match to know how significantly they've changed it for this match. They could be playing their reserves in this game for all I know, but I mean, they look like fancy names. They're not. They're all fancy European and South American names, which suggests they're their best players. That's how I'm going to judge them. So I think this change of system is just working. Not that I want to commit to it long term without buying some wingers, and we've got no money left. It's tricky. It's nice to have. I mean, the advantage of this is we have been training this system and the 4-3-3 version of the Gegenpress. They've both been trained since we tried them back in the Championship 2 years ago and gave up on them, but we never stopped training them. So we are comfortable playing this system, even though we don't do it very often. And that's perhaps why they're taking to it relatively easily. Although, as you'd expect, Kano not playing very well out on the right-hand side, it might be time for us to... I think Matondo is probably the only other option out there. Can Ollie Steer play out wide? Not really. Carl Bishop, can you actually play out there? I don't really want my playmaker playing out of position on the right wing. I think Matondo is probably... Although that says, Kev, he's the one. How good is he? Not very. Let's get Matondo out there. If we want him playing as an inside forward, we'll get Matondo into these areas. And I don't want to change up the centre-backs. We're just going to make that one change for now. We'll keep an eye on fitness, because as nice as it will be, let's praise them, as nice as it will be to get into the semi-finals of this competition, we don't want to risk injuring someone for the league, especially when we're in poor form in the league. Adrio's not playing well, so Steer can come on, who really, Steer is the perfect striker for a lone striker role in a Gegenpress because he's a natural pressing forward. Sands can come off as well. Van der Horst can come on for him, who just wants to be a normal defender. And now we just need to hold on for 10 minutes. Is there a just hold on for 10 minutes shout that I can do? Can't do any shouts at the moment, so I only just praise them. It falls to Matondo. So we've got Matondo, Harris and Steer all on the pitch at the same time now. It's the dream from 3 years ago when they were tearing up the Championship together, or 2 years ago. Have them all on the pitch at the same time with Manu in between them pulling the strings. It sounds like it should work a treat, but we've just conceded a last minute goal. I don't know what happens now. Does this go to extra time? Does this go straight to penalties? Surely not a replay in this competition. Van der Horst should be clearing that better. I don't want to see the dirty replay. Show some passion. Straight to penalties. Wow. No messing about there. Last minute winner, and suddenly it's a coin flip whether or not we make it into the semi-finals. I guess now it really is an advantage. I don't want to say that going into a penalty shootout to have three strikers on plus Manu, although Ollie Steer's down at number 8 on our penalty list. I'm just going to leave it where it's auto-picked, but we've certainly got more attacking players on the pitch than they have, and it's Manu first up to take his penalty. Just score it. I don't think I've ever seen him take a penalty before, but he scores, and it's 1-0 to us. I'm not going to... am I going to tell you the score all the way through? Probably. I don't remember the last time we had a penalty shootout on the channel. They've hit the post. Come on, semi-finals, here we come. Torres now up next. Have we seen Torres take a penalty before? I don't think I have. Can he do it? He can! Excellent stuff again. And now we've got Harris and Matondo as the next two. We would like a save here. A save here would be delightful. And we don't get it. I think it's Sir Anthony Harris up next. It's Matondo up next. We've seen him score plenty of penalties over the years, which means presumably he's going to miss this one. He doesn't, because he's Chardonnay Matondo. Oh, I'm losing my voice. I'm so excited. It's only the League Cup, Kev. You honestly don't care about it. Calm down. And it's 3-2 with 2 penalties left each, and it's Sir Anthony Harris. Please, Sir Anthony, just carry on doing what you do. He does. What a penalty. What a penalty from Sir Anthony Harris. Goodness gracious me. If we get a save here, we're through without having to... I think it's Brown taking the last penalty. But pressure on Huddersfield here. Horvat's just make the save, sir. Just make the save. And then we get into the semi-finals and we can start to dream. He does make the save. It was a terrible penalty. But despite being pathetic at the end of the match, that might be the confidence booster we need. It was a real Jekyll and Hyde performance. We were much better in the first half than the second. But now we have a League Cup semi-final draw, which I guess I'm going to have to show you, aren't I? I can't qualify for the semi-final of a cup competition and then not show you the draw. So we'll quickly do the draw and then we'll know who we're going to be playing tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Because remember, new time slot now as Holme becomes the main series on the channel. But let's go and check on the draw. Here we go then, semi-final draw. So it's Man United, Bournemouth, us and Norwich. Norwich, I think, are down in the Championship. So Norwich are in the Championship. Bournemouth below us in the league. Man United, obviously Man United. They're the one we want to avoid. Let's just get into it, shall we? So Norwich would be perfect. Down in the Championship, this would be perfect for us. We've avoided Man United. That was the second most perfect option. So it's going to be Bournemouth versus Holme in the semi-final of the League Cup. If we can beat them over 2 legs, then we're going to Wembley in a domestic cup final. So obviously, that's going to be our next episode. Whether we do both legs or just maybe just the second leg, maybe, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I don't have to figure it out for about 10 days now because this is the last of the pre-recorded episodes. I'm going to have forgotten the names of all of the players by tomorrow's episode because it's Wednesday the 22nd of May as I record this, and I'll be recording the next one the day it comes out. So, yeah, excuse me for my brain being broken and not remembering who any of the players. I'll probably remember Harris, the rest of them not so much. But we will be back tomorrow, 4 p.m, remember, and hopefully you'll come along and join me then. If you have enjoyed this, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.